talking about. Because there is some bad quarterback play out there. But the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. You're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
he's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in,
right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump, and you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome in. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on a terrific Tuesday. Scott Wetzel, Gabriel Morency for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, whether the game is going on or not. We are off at 10 tonight. That is for sure, because after last night, you never want to say until the end of the baseball game. Welcome back. It is In-Game Live. Have you gotten any sleep at all? Man, I'm still tired from last night. I did stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning here on the East Coast. I'm sure Gabe did as well on the West Coast, but we're right back at it. Players back at it. We got a World Series Game 4. We got the full slate of hockey. Everybody is in action. We got 5 NBA games, and we got some more MLS soccer to get to as well. So busy 2 hours. Hopefully make a couple of shekels along the way. First up, before we do it all, game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
Well, I'll tell you what, brilliant marketing once again from Gary Bettman in the National Hockey League, Scott, to have their frozen frenzy. And we have every team playing all night long, essentially, in the National Hockey League. Yeah, let's do it against the World Series, and let's play some more MLS playoff games head-to-head with the World Series. You know, I get you can't avoid conflict sometimes, but the World Series schedule is announced like a year in advance. This isn't a surprise, like if you're another sports league, but I'm like a lot of people, Scott, like everybody. It was one of those nights last night. I'm on the West Coast, so I can't complain, but I will tell you, I also record like MMA shows and podcasts pretty early in the morning. So it was a quick turnaround. I noticed a lot of people like Matt. I just saw Magic Johnson interviewed. A lot of people don't have a voice today, Scott. So at least I still have a voice.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. You know, if you were going to do what the hockey is going to do, right, wouldn't, Thursday, the off day between games 5 and 6, even if there is a game?
Next week in November type thing. Hey, baseball's over. Hey,
right.
Check it out. Hey, we got all this hockey tonight. Hey, welcome to the NHL.
Right.
I know you were paying attention to everything else. No, let's do it on a, head-to-head with Shohei Ohtani pitching.
Yeah. Or do it before the NBA season starts. Pick an off day in baseball, or maybe there's only one playoff game. Do it before the NBA season. You're going to get overshadowed by the NBA. Yeah, it's very weird. Just the NHL between the NHL and the WNBA, pick your poison there. But both are run by bird brains. So, all right, let's have our opening pickoff. We have first pitch here in about 10 minutes or so. Plenty of time to get these bets in. I'll start first, Gabe. I've seen this happen many, many times. A game like last night, most people think, oh, the team that lost Toronto is all deflated and everything else. It's not the case. They may be deflated. I'm not saying that, but I've seen more times where that team actually wins the next time, and the team that won the emotional, crazy, wild finish game is so exhausted emotionally, they don't. So I'm going to go conservative because I got the bet on the Dodgers, and I don't want to root against them. So give me Toronto plus a run and a half. It's only minus 120, so I'm hopefully, kind of pinning that exact thing. Dodgers win 4-3, 3-2. I don't want to exactly root against the Dodgers, but I got a funny feeling Toronto wins tonight because of what I said. So give me the Blue Jays plus the run and a half at minus 120.
I'm going to go opposite here. Give me the Los Angeles Dodgers minus a run and a half. Listen, the Jays are hanging on for dear life right now. There's no moral victories in this stuff. They were in it. Yes, it sucked. The LA Dodgers see blood in the water right now, knowing they win tonight. There's the potential of not even having to go back to Toronto. Remember, the Dodgers haven't won a World Series on their home field since 1963. And I don't think they're thinking about that, but I think they're thinking more so about let's not go back to Toronto and roll the dice in a Game 6 and Game 7. And then you got Bieber on the hill here tonight. So, all right, Bieber better pitch well because the Blue Jays are out of pitchers, right? So just point blank. I trust Ohtani more than I trust Bieber. I look at it like the Dodgers are going to roll tonight, actually. I kind of like them more tonight than I've liked them in any game in the series so far, to be honest with you. So I'm laying the run and a half with the Dodgers. But we saw last night. I mean, the Blue Jays are really good. So these games are, they're very evenly matched teams. So I'm going to split it up. I got a run and a half play here at plus 100, but we have a money line parlay we'll give with our next pick.
All right, I'm going to go same kind of thinking as far as Bieber is concerned. I'm going to go over 15 and a half outs. These relievers can pitch back-to-back. Remember, there was an off day before Game 3, and none of these guys threw like 40, 50 pitches, outside of the last Dodger pitcher. So they're all still available for tonight, but I think Bieber's going to come up big. I also think the bats are going to be slow. Listen, emotional, 18 innings, this, that, what have you. So give me over 15 and a half Shane Bieber outs.
Let's go with the Los Angeles Dodgers to win the baseball game, and we'll take the run and a half out of the equation, and we'll money line parlay Kennesaw State college football. I tell you what, nice. Kennesaw State have been pretty good to us over the last couple of weeks. I've told you guys, they've won 5 straight football games, all right? They lost to Wake Forest in week 1, 10-9, and Wake have been playing with teams in the ACC. So they lost by 1 point in the opening game to Wake Forest. They got lit up and drilled by Indiana like everybody does, and they've won 5 games since in their conference play. So they made some money in the paycheck games, and they keep winning. UTEP are not a very good road team. I don't want to get involved with the point spread here and worry about having to win by 10 points or anything like that, but I would be very surprised if Kennesaw State doesn't win this football game outright. Give me Kennesaw State money line LA Dodgers parlay. It's minus 115.
All right. I'm going to go NBA for my next play. We got 5 games tonight. Anytime you can get under 230 for an over-under, that's a gift for the boys in Vegas. So give me over 229.5 New York at Milwaukee. Bucks can certainly go up and down the court. They did go under by a point or two against Cleveland their last game out, so they're due for an over. I just don't see any defense being played. I know that's, generally speaking, a big number, but actually for 2025, it's not. So give me over 229.5 Knicks and Bucks.
I can't disagree with your pick there. I'm going to go with a little same-game parlay, which I don't do often, but when I do, I normally win. This one, I didn't alter the numbers with the alternate line or anything like that, but like you, I think Bieber will pitch well, and I don't think they want to go to their bullpen. So I think they really do want to get 5-6 from Bieber if they can tonight. And similar situation with Ohtani. Listen, Ohtani's only pitched in 2 playoff games, right? So he had 9 strikeouts and he had 10 strikeouts. His strikeout prop is 6.5 tonight. Bieber's at 4.5. So I parlayed Bieber on Ohtani over strikeouts plus 220. And I also did play Ohtani just by himself over 6.5, just in case that Bieber gets lit up or something like that. But I do like this parlay at plus 220. Both pitchers to go over their strikeout number.
All right. I'm going to go hockey for my last one. I'm going to take Winnipeg Pick'em against Dallas. Winnipeg's slumping a little bit, slumping for the Jets anyway, losing 2 of their last 3, but at home. This one's on the ice, or on the road, rather. They're at Minnesota. They own the Wild for whatever reason. They've won their last 8 meetings against Minnesota. Sometimes it's better to be on the road. You get out of the way, from home. A rare losing 2 out of 3 for the Winnipeg Jets. I'm getting them at Pick'em, one of the best teams in the NHL. Minnesota's under 500 on the season. They're not playing great hockey, so give me the Jets at Pick'em tonight, Gabe.
I'm going to wrap it up with another college football pick. James Madison and North Texas. It's kind of rare, and it's pretty crazy they say 55, but it's kind of rare that you see a total this low in a North Texas football game. North Texas put up points. They can't stop anybody. And JMU's offense kind of struggled a little bit for a couple of weeks, but against this defense, I think this is a get-right spot for them. I don't really want to mess with the point spread. I wouldn't lay the points with the favorite. If I had to take it, I would take the dog, but I don't. They have to set a number for every game. We don't have to bet every game. I will take the over of this football game, though, over 55.5, James Madison and North Texas. And we're about to start the baseball game. Couple of quick props here. I don't know if they're going to pitch to Ohtani, but I went over 1.5 total bases for Ohtani. It's minus 110. I went over 1.5 total bases for Freeman at minus 115. Gut feel, the Morency gut feel home run pick of the night tonight. Will Smith, plus 475. So Will Smith to hit home run, plus 475. And I'm a big fan of the 0.5 total bases. So basically, they just got to get a hit. Tommy Edman, minus 180. And Max Muncy, minus 125, over 0.5. And ball game is set to begin right now. And remember, everybody, no George Springer in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ohtani, 2 runs scored at plus 250, and take Yamamoto to win the MVP at 25-1. We'll explain when we come back.
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. So we got World Series game number 4 underway. I tell you, I'm exhausted. I can only imagine, Gabe, what the players are like, right? I mean, I was up until 3. They're up late. You know, it's midnight Western time, but still, they're up. By the time they get done with the media, shower, and everything else, get back to the hotel, they're probably hungry. They literally probably didn't go to bed, same around me, right? 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning if they were lucky. So I doubt either team took batting practice, or if they did, it was, optional. I don't know what we're going to get out of these teams. You would think World Series, who cares, Scott? Of course, they're going to be all pumped up. But I'm telling you, I've seen it more so in football than in baseball. But one few years back, I looked it up. If you went through all the NFL playoff emotional games, the drive, the fumble, the Music City Miracle, all these goofy ones, the next time out, 80 to 90% of the time they actually lost. Is that because they had an emotional win the week before? Maybe it's coincidence. I don't know. But I've just noticed over the years, even in dramatic regular season, wins, it's the team that loses that's more pumped up, more excited, more fired up, more ticked off to get back out there and seek revenge versus the team that wins. I hope I'm wrong, but that's why I went with Toronto, because I got a if I didn't have like any dog in the fight, I'd be betting Toronto tonight because I get a funny feeling they get the job done. Hopefully not, though.
It was stone cold silence in their room. Toronto media, for the most part, is pretty crushed, to be honest with you, right? Like, everything that you're saying, people in Toronto don't think. Like, for the most part, Toronto sports have had a lot of, like, crushing losses, disappointing endings. The Raptors won in 2019, but nobody's really won since the Jays in 93. The MLS team did win. The soccer team won about 5 years ago or so, but so there's an aura of negativity around them. They're without George Springer, right, who is one of their best players, which does not help them very much. To me, it just sort of lined up. I look at it from an opposite perspective of the game went so long that it's a lot like one of these hockey games where, like a triple overtime hockey game, a quadruple overtime hockey game. It's just like it's crushing for the team that loses the game. Right. But there's a lot of interesting sort of little caveats here. Like, as you stated, I mean, this is a battle of will of attrition for both teams. I think baseball is a little different, and we're over dramatizing it a little bit because they do play every day, right, to begin with. So, yeah, the game was longer, but they do play every day to begin with. So they're used to getting right back to the stadium all the time, playing on a Saturday night. Hey, we're playing Sunday afternoon again. So they're used to quick turnarounds. Last night was unique. I think it was more because it was so mentally draining. But one thing, Scott, and I brought it up in the past, anyone that's been to Dodger Stadium, it looks beautiful on TV, and it is beautiful when you're there. But it's not in a beautiful part of Los Angeles. Now, you're not going to get killed in the parking lot or anything like that, but it's
not Chicago.
Well, there's nowhere rich enough around the stadium for the players to live. The stadium's essentially in East LA and close to like downtown type thing. It's not a rich area. So there's no, they can live in a condo. Like, most of the Blue Jay players live in like condos right near the stadium, and they can just walk to the stadium. Most of the Dodger players live in Orange County, or they live in Bel Air, or they live in Beverly Hills. So it takes them like 2 hours to get home after the game, Scott. Like, say, Dodger players last night didn't get home until like 3 a.m. or something like that. And then it takes them hours. I'm going to the game tomorrow, so just for the record, I checked what the traffic took to get to the stadium, and what was normally about a 25-minute ride was an hour and 40 minutes. Like, people don't understand. LA traffic is different. LA traffic is killer to begin with, but Dodger Stadium's on top of a hill, and there's not a lot of ways in and out of there. It's very poorly constructed. I'll just put, like, you know what I mean? It was built in the early 60s. It's very poorly, like, the logistics of it is not good. There's no train that goes there. You're on your own, bro. Like, you're on top of a hill in East LA. You're on your own getting in and out of there. So, so it takes the Dodger players. Trey Turner left because of that. Trey Turner, like, very rare that, like, star players leave the Dodgers willingly. You know what I mean? Trey Turner was on the Dodgers, and he signed with the Phillies. And he basically said, he goes, I can't take it. He goes, I just can't deal with, like, leaving my house at noon so I'm not late to get to the ballpark. I get home at 2 a.m. I never see my family. I'm stuck in traffic all the time. He goes, I just can't live like this. It's not for everybody, right? That's the one complaint that Dodger players have. It's tough to get in and out of the stadium for them. There's no magic way. They have a little entrance and exit on the way out that's a private one, Scott, but what are you going to do? Once you're on the freeway, it doesn't matter if you're Mookie Betts or not. You're stuck in traffic.
I'm surprised these guys don't buy some helicopters and have a helicopter pad and fly in that way.
Yeah, you know what? Kobe did.
You know? Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Kobe Bryant did, and how did that work out? People were scared of helicopters.
That's true.
Because you're right. If I was Ohtani, I'd think the same way, Scott. I'm like, screw this. I got to get some sleep. That's another thing, too. Japanese players sleep a lot. Like Ohtani sleeps 12 hours a night. Like some of them sleep 14, 16 hours a day if they can, type of deal. So Ohtani's not on his regular sleep, but he gets out of the first inning.
Yep. Had 2 runners on. I think a walk and a base hit. So, all right. So, bottom of the first, they go. No score. So, I guess, his hamstring. There are so many question marks into this game, right? Although you and I both said it, Gabe, when Springer left last night, and he didn't, take a couple of swings or talk to the he went right to the dugout and he went right into the back, and that was all signs of he was not playing tonight, but you thought maybe he was going to play. Then you had Ohtani kind of pulled up at his hamstring there when he went to go steal second base, so you wondered if he's really going to be able to pitch tonight.
Alejandro Kirk sort of limped off the field when he left the field last night too. That's one thing, Scott, you talked about these long games. It's the human nature, right? The body will start to break down. You'll notice, that's why these guys were getting hurt and stuff. They were up, I mean, it's not normal to have 9 at-bats, bro, and, swing violently at the ball that many times. That was something that was unique. And how about Ohtani getting on base 9 times?
9 times. That's I am curious to see. We'll let you know when we come back. We got to take a break. We'll let you know. He's going to be batting leadoff, right? I would personally, I don't think they did this, but I would bat Freeman number 2 behind Ohtani to prevent that. With Betts struggling as much as he is, they want to walk Ohtani. Let him face Betts number 2, and then maybe Freeman number 2. I know it's back-to-back lefties.
They don't want back-to-back lefties. Yeah,
I know, that's the thing.
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Just underway, hour number one. Scott and Gabe. So the World Series is underway. Ohtani got on base, Gabe. I know it was a 3-2 count. I'm a little bit behind you. Whoa. They called a strike two,
Very
and it was
strange.
3-1 that I thought was ball four, and then they just gave him
strike,
ball four.
The ball looked like a strike.
Yeah.
Like Ohtani, on when it was 3-1, Ohtani thought it was low, and it was low.
Right.
It was low. They showed it, the replay, blah, blah, in the box. It was low. Ohtani started walking to first, and he apologized to the ump. He said, "Oh, sorry. I thought it was a ball," type thing. So Ohtani kind of mocked the ump a little bit in his Japanese way. He apologized for showing him up. And then, like you said, I thought that, dude, I don't know how much. It was pretty much a strike, bro.
Wow,
on the full count. Yeah. It was right on the corner. That's a strike. So, the ump gave Ohtani, the home plate umping has been bad, bro, in this World Series. All three games. Been all over the place.
Yeah, that was, listen, I'm rooting for the Dodgers tonight, but that was a called strike three. It really should have been. So, all right, so now it's up to Mookie to do something. We talked about it in the break. He's got to come through. He just, heck, even if it's now bunting, do something to be productive. His outs, I don't know how many men he's left on base this World Series and this postseason.
He's just popped out.
His batting average, how many times is this guy going to pop out?
The thing with it is, the problem with Mookie is, and listen, nobody loves Mookie Betts more than I do, but what's surprising, Scott, is they're not good at bats.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes, all right, a player's struggling, and Mookie is streaky, right? He was struggling earlier in the year, and then he got hot again. Now he's struggling again. Yeah. But when Mookie's struggling, it's not like, oh, look, he's close, or he's smoking the ball, and he's got bad luck. It's like, no, he's swinging at bad pitches. He's popping out. He's swinging for the fences. He's getting under the ball a lot, which is strange for him, Scott. Because I remember him a couple of years ago when he was in the home run derby and stuff, and he even said, I don't try to hit home runs. He said, I try to hit the ball, and if it goes over the wall, it goes over the wall. But I don't try to hit it over the wall. It seems like now he's trying to hit over the wall all the time. Like, they're just not good swings, not good at bats. Like, all right, you're such a good hitter, Mookie. You're good enough to say, all right, I'm struggling, but I can still get a single and put it through the middle here, right? Like a Tony Gwynn guy, like an ultimate hitter that can say, I know I don't have my A game here, but I can still drive one into right field here for a single. Yeah. He's not doing it. Like, he's not digging down and doing it.
Yeah, that's why I would have flipped him. I would have put Freeman number 2. Now you can kind of walk Ohtani. And, all right, there's still, only one out. I get that with Freeman coming up, but it's just, I don't know. He's almost an automatic out.
He'll come up with a big hit. For me, it's more Andy Pages, where you got to wonder, all right, how many cracks of this does Andy Pages get? Right? And he's batting ninth, and he really has given him nothing, right, offensively. Like, next to nothing. I personally thought it'd be better to put Mookie Betts in right field and let Rojas play. And you shake things around. You put Rojas in at shortstop, but Dave Roberts said he didn't want to move things around and shake things up, and you could understand it. I mean, there's a couple of games left in the season. Your team is kind of who you are right now, and he said that they didn't want to mess with Pages' defense in center field because he's playing great defense.
I think Betts and Muncy combined to go 1 for 15 last night. 1 for 15.
It was a lot of them. It was a lot of them. I had Max Muncy over 0.5, and I couldn't get it. He went 0 for 7. Wow. I had Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases. Couldn't get it. Dude, I had Vladimir Guerrero over 1.5 total bases. It took him 8 at-bats. He was 1 for 7, and he got a second single at 2 for 8. So it's going to happen, right? It's streaky. It is what it is. But it'd be nice to see Betts come up with a big hit in this series because he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, we hit on our Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Muncy round robin 4 hits, runs, and RBIs. We got 2 of the 4, so we won money. But if we could have gotten 3, and last night's game was just the perfect game with 5,000 at bats, but only Ohtani and Freeman got the 4 hits, runs, and RBIs. They didn't offer that here in New York tonight. Last night
it's pretty crazy.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's very weird. It
was wild that there were that many at bats. Like you said, I had to get a laugh out of it. Like, I laughed out loud when Guerrero finally got there. I was like, well, it took 8 effing at-bats, but there's the second base.
Yeah.
He got a second single. And I was amazed. I looked at Muncy. I'm like, I cannot believe I can't win. Like, not one hit, Max. 0 for 7. And 6 hours and 39 minutes. You couldn't get one hit.
Amazing. Got 5 basketball games. We'll talk to the coach about that. More points being scored tonight. More prop winners from the coach when we come back.
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circa Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the grid. So baseball goes to the top of the second, no score. Put that aside for a few moments. We got the decent slate of NBA games. We got the Knicks in action, got the 76ers. We got Embiid. We got the Warriors in action. So let's bring in the coach, get some NBA winners from him, Mr. James Young. What's going on, Coach? How are you tonight, bud?
Good to be on with you guys. A good 6-game slate in the NBA, some surprises, and a pretty good start so far to the Knicks and the Bucks.
All right. How about the surprise? The Washington Wizards, I see, leading by 19 now over, and maybe it's not a surprise, over Philadelphia and Joel Embiid midway through the third quarter, 95-76.
It's interesting because, our producer, Pat Foster, I went the other way. I went with the Sixers to win and cover because I like the way they've looked. But they're almost like 2 different teams. It's like when they have Embiid, when they don't have Embiid. And what we've seen out of VJ Esco and Tyrese Maxey is not what you're seeing tonight. A lot of get the ball to Joel Embiid, obviously 7 of 12 from the floor. But if you're the Sixers and you go into this matchup, you're not expecting Joel Embiid to be outperformed by Alex Sarr. Like that's a problem. And I think Philadelphia's going to find themselves, guys, in an interesting predicament, which is when do you start looking to the future when you look at obviously having, that backcourt of BJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, and with even Quentin Grimes and Jared McCain coming off the bench, you have to start looking at the fact that, Paul George isn't in anymore. Joel Embiid may not be in anymore. So how do you attack that if you're the 76ers?
You warned people, though, Coach, before the year started that the Wizards could be a scrappy team. right? At times, they're going to, they're not going to lose every game. So I'm not shocked. And I totally agree with Philadelphia. Let's just be real. They trusted the process and they were lied to. Right? They did it. They tried it. It didn't work. They should have traded Embiid years ago, kind of thing. To me, like, this is kind of late. Like, now that people are seeing this now, but all right, they got to start over, like, basically, right? At this point, let's just start over. But I want to get your take, obviously, on the Knicks and Bucks situation with Giannis and all the reports that the Knicks actually inquired and supposedly, right, Windhorst is saying that, Giannis is open to playing for the Knicks. So I know the Knicks always, and Knicks fans are always so optimistic that they're going to get this star player, but maybe they actually do this time down the road with Giannis. And, Coach, I'm curious your take on the Clipper-Warrior game. Warriors playing good basketball, but the game that they lost this year, they went back-to-back when they went to Portland. Now they're playing back-to-back, and the Clippers are playing well after they sucked against Utah on opening night. I like the Clippers tonight.
Yeah, I like the Clippers as well tonight. In regards to the Knicks in Milwaukee, there's a tremendous amount of pressure that's on both sides. When you look at the Knicks, there's pressure on, honestly, Karl Anthony Towns, because he's going to be probably the principal person moved in any kind of trade for Giannis. And there's pressure on, obviously, Doc Rivers on the other side and Kyle Kuzma, because there really isn't that much for Milwaukee to play with. Obviously, they're going to have to lead a little bit more defensively. Obviously, 19-18.
But the Knicks don't have enough to trade for him either. They're going to have to wait for the contract to be up. Let's be real. How do you trade for Giannis, guys? Like, how do you give up enough for him?
It's the point where, and this is the interesting thing. You have to be Giannis. You have to go and tell them you want out and you don't want to go to New York. Because no one's going to give you the extension, right? Because they know you're just leaving free agency. I think what's interesting with the New York is New York blew a lot of those picks when they went and got Mikal Bridges. So I think that's something, to kind of look at with them and what they did. But to me, it should be interesting how New York kind of does this and kind of figures it out in regards to the game. Really quick, Kyle Kuzma tonight over his points prop. I like him because I think he's going to be able to bounce back a little bit better than the other guys.
All right.
What about him to the Lakers? Pair him up with Luka, Scott, post-LeBron era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Lakers aren't done with just Luka.
What do the Lakers have to give? If you don't think the Knicks have anything, I agree. The Lakers got
besides Luka, Scott. Right? Like if you're the Bucks, what do you say? All right, give me Brunson. Like, what do you have to give me? Like, so that's why I'm skeptical of this. That's why I'm thinking, I don't know, when's he a free agent? Like, this could happen down the road in a couple of years.
Yeah. Knicks were going to get LeBron, then they were going to get KD, then they were going to get Steph. Now, the only one they really got was Carmelo Anthony, and he's from New York and told the world he wanted to come here. And the dopey Knicks still traded for him instead of just waiting 3 months to get him as a free agent. So I did like the Knicks and Milwaukee Bucks, Coach, as well as you, as far as the over is concerned. Over 229.5. I know they're just basically underway right now. Let me give you the score here, just to give you an update. I know JY. Okay, we lost JY, so we'll get back with him in a second. But it's 24-22. But yeah, it's listen. He did say he would apparently come to New York, but you're right, Gabe. I mean, you'd be robbing Peter to pay Paul. If you're going to give Brunson, you're going to give Bridges, and you're going to give this, that, and to bring in a guy. You're joining a team that's decimated. So what's the point?
And also, there'll be other teams that'll be in the mix. Just because there's reports that he agreed to this doesn't mean that, just say crazy like the Houston Rockets step up, or, you know what I mean? There's other teams. Hell, the Dallas Mavericks could have money and say, you want to play with Kyrie Irving? You want to play with Cooper Flagg? Right? I mean, there'll be other teams in the mix. And like we were just saying, as we lost you, Coach, what can the Knicks do? But what can any team do, really? I mean, I guess you look at the Luka deal. They got Anthony Davis, but that was my whole problem with that. That wasn't enough. Like, I didn't mind trading Luka. I just didn't like what they got back in return.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, they think the superstars run this league in regards to controlling where you get.
And also, the Bucks are never winning again, even with Giannis, right, Coach and Scott? No. You know what I'm saying? They caught lightning in a bottle. They had a really good team for a couple of years. They're never going to be able to rematch that magic they had.
Well, I think the problem is that. Go ahead, Scotty.
No, this is good. The big thing is if he tells the Bucks, I'm not re-signing with you. So you want to hold on to me for another year and a half and get nothing for me, knock yourself out, or take a trade even though it's not really fair market value. That's the only way the Bucks will.
That's the thing.
Put
That's
him on
thing
the
you're in
Spurs
charge
with Wemby, you guys. How about that, Coach? Oh my God.
Well, listen. Well, let's talk about him because right now, what he's done, getting 33 points a game, 11 rebounds, 5 blocks, shooting 50% from the floor, 36% from three. Guys, there was a play on Sunday where he blocked 2 shots, got the outlet on a rebound, and hit a logo 3. If he does this, just go home. Give him the MVP now. And call it
give me MVP. Yeah.
And listen, I was very high on on San Antonio going into the year, but I still maintain, as I talked about this with Kevin before, I think there's a problem that's going to be brewing. And that is, if we want to talk about why did they make the trade like Dallas did, why did they go get De'Aaron Fox? Especially when you had Steph Castle, and then you turn around and then you draft Dylan Harper. And Dylan Harper, guys, has been really good, getting about 16 points per game. They got an interesting problem there at San Antonio, but Coach
They'll
Johnson
trade De'Aaron Fox, Coach. You can tell already. And even last year, Coach, there was talk that this isn't a good fit. Like they kind of realized. I'm surprised that they thought it would be a good fit, actually, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, listen, just because the guy wants to come play for you doesn't mean you trade for him, right? It kind of goes to Scotty's point with the Knicks with Carmelo. Like, just because the guy wants to get traded to your team doesn't mean you just go trade for him.
Yeah, and the guy played for Sacramento. He wanted out. He would have went anywhere almost. Like, of course he was happy.
Listen. I mean, besides light the beam.
I know. I probably want to get out
of Sacramento too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what, though, on paper, I grabbed him. I got a little nibble at him at 40-1 to win it all. I don't know if they'll really do that, but I mean, on paper, if you're playing fans, that's a hell of a team. I mean, make it fit somehow or another. Right? And that's my answer to it. Don't trade the guy. De'Aaron Fox, one of the best players in the NBA.
They've been looking for a point guard since in Sacramento.
Yeah. Not the biggest team guy.
Yeah, make him be.
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circa Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe talking with the coach, little NBAs. We keep an eye on the baseball. Dodgers first and third, threatening top of the or bottom of the second inning. We'll let you know how that turns out. So let's run down some of these games, Coach, and get your thoughts. Pretty good betting opportunity. This is what, In Game Live is all about. OKC, defending champs, down 7 right now at home against Sacramento. It was 2.5 a moment ago. It's up to 4.5, but still a discount from the 9.5, 10.5 it was to start the game. OKC undefeated. I think they're either 2-2 or 1-3 against the spread. So they're winning, but they're not necessarily covering like last year.
We have our first run of the game
right now. What do we got?
First run of the baseball game. Just an update here. Kike Hernandez delivers a sacrifice fly. Max Muncy scores. There was runners on first and third. Hernandez does his job. He hits it deep to center field. 1-0 sac fly. Runner on first base. Andy Pages coming up with 2 out.
Cool. Okay. What do you think, Coach, as far as the baskets?
Well, it's tough to really look at that game because there's been times that Oklahoma City's been playing with fire. And obviously, not having Chet Holmgren tonight, not having Jalen Williams to start the season, that's kind of a stay-away game for me. Maybe you could try and see if you get some kind of run. But, so far, Sacramento's really outplaying them. You kind of look at the box score a little bit. And it's really been Russell Westbrook playing really well with 11 points so far. So, to me, that's a little bit of stay away. So I feel like I can get Oklahoma City kind of going. Usually, guys are a third quarter team. So maybe wait till halftime if you want to bet and see if you can get a really good number.
Especially now as a defending champ, huh? Like, they're going to be overpriced all the time. Their spreads are going to be high. They freaking covered like 84 times, literally and figuratively, last year with the playoffs and everything combined. And they're going to turn the switch on a little bit. They'll be down in games, and they'll have to come back and stuff. But so, 1-0. They got out of the inning, so 1-0 going to the top of the third right now. But, guys, forget about the NBA.
But really quick.
I want to bring up, Coach.
Really quick before you move on. You also got to think about the fact that the amount of points that they were laying without Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren.
Yep.
Right. What would they be laying? 13.5? 14.5? If they were all healthy? That's a wild number, even for Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
College basketball, guys. College basketball is back on Monday. On Monday. So it's not like it's coming up in a couple of days. Right now, Quinnipiac and St. John's Monday, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern, FS1. North Carolina, Central Arkansas, Florida, and Arizona on Monday. So, boy, that's in Las Vegas. Florida and Arizona. Arizona 3.5-point favorites in that basketball game. That's there's got to be another one if there's someone else got to be playing.
Well, what about my guys? What about Shaheen Holloway? I'll be at the Rock opening night as they take on. I'll be as Seton Hall opens the season after the not great season that they had.
I said big games, Coach. I talked about. Come on, I remember Florida and Arizona here. And we got Villanova and BYU from Vegas. Yeah, well, it was St. John's, a little New York flavor, right? I figured I'd throw some love for Patino and company. All right, hey, that's why I want to ask. Or St. John's, how good are they going to be this year, Coach? And I didn't even bring up my Michigan Wolverines are playing on Monday, and I think Michigan are national championship contenders this year.
Yeah, they really are. Listen, if you didn't see it, Gabe, it was a really great scrimmage, and they kind of showed a lot of them over the weekend.
They played Cincinnati. Did you see that?
Michigan also played St. John's over the weekend at MSG.
Okay. I didn't see that. Yeah, I didn't see that.
And I think it was I want to say maybe a 2-point game in overtime. So those are two teams I think are going to be top 5, top 10 teams in the country. When you look down to it, guys, it's really going to become the experience to me of two teams that I'm looking squarely at to see what they can do. Number one is Purdue. We're getting with Lawyer and getting Braden Smith back, arguably the best point guard in the country. You obviously have Kaufman, Ryan, and then the kid Jacobson, who got hurt early in the year, comes back from injury. That should be dynamic. But to me, I keep going to it every year at some point, and I thought it was going to be this past year, Calvin Sampson is going to get one. You're going to get one. You got Emmanuel Smart.
I knew you were going there.
You got Tugler back. Uzon tried to go look at the draft, came back, and then look for a kid named Chris Sinak, 6'11" monster that they have to play with Tugler in the front line. I think this finally could be Houston's year to cut him down. way still good defensively, a little bit more dynamic offensively.
You can bring Akeem Olajuwon back, and I don't care who you can bring back for Purdue as well. The what's his face? Who was the big center there? The geeky guy. Bring no, before him even.
Robbie
bring
Hummel.
them all back. No, bigger stiff than that even. Bring them all back. I don't care. There's no way in the world I'm putting American or Canadian money on Purdue or Houston to win the national championship. It just doesn't happen.
Those are the favorites.
Every single year. I know they're the 1-2 on FanDuel right now. Purdue 1, Houston 2, Coach. I mean, they're not going to win.
No, I get it. It's like making Penn State and Ole Miss the favorite in college football. Like it's like two teams that don't win. I get it. I know where you're going with this.
But
they are damn good.
Respect.
And Purdue made it to the championship game 2 years ago.
And listen, if you look at it, you know, Florida was getting outplayed by Houston pretty much the first 25, 30 minutes of the game in the national championship game. So to me, listen, I look at Calvin Sampson's team, and we've always worried about them offensively. They've been better. You guys notice, I've never been a Matt Painter guy. Never been a Painter guy. I mean, I just think he's been living off the fact that he's a Purdue guy, and he followed the great Gene Katie after the fact. But listen, there'll be other teams that'll be up there. Michigan should be good. Obviously, let's see what the year 2 with Coach Pope is at Kentucky, the most expensive team money can buy. It should be intriguing, guys. And look for this, folks. It will not happen this year, but I'll tell you this right now. By this time next year, they're going to allow college players to have 5 years. They were going to look at it. There's too many laws in place. They're going to wait.
Players from the G League. What's up with coaches from the G League playing in college basketball?
They cannot control college basketball. Between NIL,
dude, in hockey,
the portal,
hockey's the same thing. You got a kid that played for the Pittsburgh Penguins playing on Arizona State right now. It's like you got a hockey card. You're in a Penguin uniform.
This is nuts. This is crazy.
So why don't we sign Sidney Crosby to play at Penn State?
Yeah, he's got eligibility, right?
Never went to never went to school.
He didn't go to college. Crazy. That's going to be a lot of fun this season, Coach. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, you know, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circa Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks to the coach for joining us as he does from time to time. What do we got? Oh, 2-1 Toronto. Run homer. Just like that. Wow. Wow. That's yeah. No, they were depressed and beaten up and everything else when they dropped the first two at home. I'm reading that, reminded me, not that I didn't know, obviously, but it just reminded me, like, that's right. You know what? As bad as they were last night, as far as the feelings wise, but when you lose the first two of a best of 7 at home and you have the moxie
they were
to
down
go on the
0-2
road,
to Seattle. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like I didn't think they would roll over or be depressed or just people fall for that trap so much. It's amazing. I'm not sure why. Like, no, if you're an athlete
The
and
thing
you're at
is,
this level, you get ticked off and you want to get back out there and you want to get revenge. You don't.
Oh no, you're happy that you're playing right away too. I think football's different. There's a week off, and it's a different scenario. But Ohtani, I talked about his sleep patterns, about resting, and dude, the guy was on base 9 times last night. He doesn't he's not dominant here. Like even in the first inning, he nearly threw a wild pitch. He's kind of all over the place so far tonight, pitching. So, is it fatigue? He's saying, clearly it's pretty tough. I mean, think about it, Scott. Everybody's tired. Hell, people are tired from watching the game. And now you're asking this guy to pitch and hit right now. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? We'll see if he can settle down here, but he gives up the 2-run shot. But you see, a lot of stuff is kind of wild. Like this last pitch right here to Barger was way outside. And he wasn't planning on throwing it that far outside. So he's having problems with his control so far.
All right, so 2-1 to Toronto, and now you want to play the ping pong game that we had last night.
Oh boy,
Dodgers still favored.
120. I see. It's basically a pick 'em. I got minus 120 here.
Yeah, FanDuel had it at 125, but they just locked it up.
Guerrero smoked it too. Wow.
Yeah, it's having a good series, man. For a team that's down,
great postseason.
Yeah, real good. I mean, you got
Barger pops out.
He's making his mark for sure. He's living up to the contract and all the hype and everything.
Oh, he really has cemented himself as a true super. We always talk about it, right? They're stars and they're superstars. He was a star before. Bichette to me is a star. Bichette's not a superstar. He's a star. People are, he's the best hitter in baseball and blah, blah. It's like, dude, settle down. He's the worst defensive player. He's a good hitter. He's not a superstar. Guerrero is proving himself to be a superstar. And you pay people not on what they've done. You pay people on what they're going to do. And it just goes to show the potential of Guerrero, right? You give him some protection in the lineup. The Blue Jays haven't lost this World Series yet, but the Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours and stuff. There's a lot of positives to being on the Jays, so they'll continue to be a force for years to come, but they're not going away tonight. And, man, can you imagine if we go extra innings again tonight? Dear God.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's why I wonder how long these pitchers will go, right? I mean,
I think they're going to leave them in.
I think both will get the benefit of the doubt. That's why I played the over 15.5 outs with Bieber. I think it's going to really take something for him to come out of the game. With Ohtani, I'm not so sure. But I think both are going to get the benefit of the doubt knowing what we got last
I know the Blue Jays.
I'm curious. I wonder what the Dodgers would have done if they would have had to go one more inning. I was really interested to see.
Tom Verducci reported from the dugout. He said that Dave Roberts told them they were going to go with a positional player.
I don't
But
think
they didn't. They didn't. They went with Klein, and they had Yamamoto warming up in the bullpen after. So they weren't going to go with a positional player. But I know the Blue Jays, they used a ton of pitchers, but one guy who's a starter who hasn't pitched that much in the postseason, Chris Bassett. So for the record, Chris Bassett. Yeah, he's the guy tonight, Scott, after Bieber. If Bieber got blown up, Bassett's coming in type thing here. But Bassett's on call for tonight.
Interesting. All right, so they get out of the bottom of the or the top of the third. So bottom of the third, they go. Toronto lead to 2-1. Yeah, I think they would have thrown the kid back out there. 8.5. FanDuel's got it at 9.5 at plus 104 if you want to go over there.
Yeah, I got minus 140 at over 8.5.
Yeah. All right, in-game live, hour number 2 coming up next.
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circa Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Hour number 2, cruising along on this terrific Tuesday evening. So we got the game for the World Series. 2-1 Toronto leading it as the Dodgers bat bottom of the 3rd inning. Keep you posted on that. Got a full slate of hockey, full slate, 5 games anyway of the NBA. So we got a bunch of other games here starting, Gabe, here at 9 o'clock, the 9 o'clock hour already here on the East Coast. I got 3 plays for you. You can throw a few out here if you want as well. I'm going to go with the Devils. They've won 8 straight. They're taking on Colorado at Colorado. Not an easy place to play for sure, but the Avs struggled here a little bit. 1-4 their last 5. So give me the Devils plus 140 going for the 9th straight win. Going to take Seattle at home against Montreal plus 105. Listen, the Kraken doing well. So I love Montreal. They're playing well, but if you want to give me plus money at home, even matchup, I'll take that. And then I like the over in the late NBA game, over 224.5. Again, it's the number. If it was 230, I probably wouldn't play it. But you want to give me an over under 224.5 in an NBA game? I don't care who's playing. I'm going over these days.
I'm going to have some late picks for the 10 o'clock games. But you are right. This Devils Avalanche game is a damn good one in the National Hockey League. It's too bad it's up against the World Series right now. But, high-quality hockey here. The Devils are dangerous at plus 130, live dogs. They're the fastest team in the National Hockey League. Everything is just sort of coming together for them. And Freeman singles with 2 out. So a fabulous Freddie keeps it going. I think the Blackhawks are live dogs tonight on their home ice. And we've already started this game. We played about 6 minutes. It's still scoreless right now with the Ottawa Senators. But you're getting plus 115 with the Blackhawks. So these 9 o'clock games here, I would say, you know what? I think the Blackhawks are live at plus 115 in a scoreless game, 5 minutes in. And I think the Devils are live dogs at plus 130.
Yeah. For whatever reason, Chicago, they've been awful for how long now, right? But they're 12-2 against Ottawa their last 14 games, and then they're 12-2 against Ottawa at home. So why? Who knows? But they've had a lot of success against the Ottawa Senators over the last what's that? Probably 5 years, 4 or 5 years or so. So I don't mind that one. Yeah. Got some pretty good ones, and Utah's going for their 8th straight win later on tonight against Edmonton. That should be a good game. And then you got the goofy Rangers, who somehow or another have lost. What's that?
Yeah, I was going to say, we gave the Chicago Blackhawks over 67.5 points. I like them this year. Yeah. They're 4-3-2 on the season, so they're above 500, well above like the pace of 67.5 so far. But how about this, Scott, on the puck line? And if they're an underdog right now, you can get them at plus 1.5. There's juice, obviously, but you could parlay with something. 8-1 on the puck line this year. The Chicago Blackhawks.
Wow.
Yeah. They always play 1-goal games. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, they lost 3-1 to the Kings, but look, they beat Tampa 3-2. They beat Anaheim 2-1. They lost 3-2 to Vancouver. They beat St. Louis 8-3. They beat Utah 3-1. They lost to Montreal 3-2. They lost to Boston 4-3. They lost to Florida 3-2. And they beat Ottawa 4-3. So, look, every one of their games this year, they've either won the game or lost by 1 goal, with the exception of one game, their last game against the LA Kings, who incidentally are starting to heat up after a slow start.
Yeah. I played one of those, a couple actually, a goofy, my goofy prop bets that I like to play.
Jays get out of the inning. So we're going to the fourth.
Go to the fourth, down 2-1. I played every team to score a goal, so we're getting 3-1 on that tonight with all 32 teams playing 16 games. They also offered up, will every game?
Oh, and right on cue. Sorry, Scott, to jump in, but the Blackhawks just scored already, as I was saying.
There you go. There you go. Listen, the number one run line team in baseball, either 1 or 2, whatever they end up finishing up, it was either them or Miami, were the Chicago White Sox. So maybe there's something in Chicago about keeping things close. But I played every game to have a power play, 70-1. FanDuel's coming up with some goofy things now with hockey. I get into it. They're actually breaking down every game, and they're giving you like 10 different props for that game itself. So they're really kind of getting into hockey this year for some reason. So do I think every game's going to have a power play? Probably not, no. But at 70-1, put a couple dollars on that. Okay, so I got that. I got
a power play goal, right? Like what would not just
yes, I'm sorry. Yes, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, power play goal. Yeah. So every I had it going. Buffalo and Columbus was the one. Yeah, why not? Yeah, right. You put $5 on it.
On some nights it'll be better than others, but you figure there should be. Like, to be honest, I would prefer it on a shorter night when there's not a million games and a couple of bad teams playing, because there's some teams with bad power plays. But, on a shorter card, like it's worth a stab for sure.
Yeah. And it's not every team. Oh, you know what? Buffalo got one. There was one game early on. Columbus got a power play, so that one came through. In the break, I'll take a look. But I know I was alive heading into these mid games. So, yeah, you get a lot of goals tonight in hockey. If you're a prop player in hockey tonight, we got 3-3 Carolina-Vegas. Great game. 3-3 Columbus or 3-2 Buffalo Columbus in the third. Florida,
the Grand Salami was 98.5 tonight.
Yeah, I played the over. That's only like 5.5 goals, barely 5.5 goals.
Every team playing, etc. Right?
Yeah, with 16 games. I don't know how they came up with that number. Normally, they just add up the totals for the
goals are starting to come, but it was a slow start earlier because I saw people online complaining about it. That there weren't enough goals being scored in the early games. So they started at like 6 Eastern tonight, right? Man, there are a lot of hockey games going on right now. This is wild. So, just like that, the Blackhawks flip from plus 115. They score. I still don't think it's a bad bet. I think the Blackhawks are going to win this game, and they're now leading 1-0. And 145 isn't terrible. Right there. Not a bad price for the Blackhawks, already up 1-0.
Yeah. Winnipeg up 2-0. We gave out the Jets as part of our opening pickoff. And we got Ovechkin going for goal number 900 tonight, $8.99. That's now the latest thing as he continues to kind of come up with these milestones. Yeah,
pulling away really now a little bit. Yeah, another milestone. College football, too. We like the over. We talked about 55.5. I thought was too light. They're off and running. It's 21-7 for James Madison. 7.5 left in the second quarter. In-game total is 65.5. So they're up to 28 already there. And Kennesaw State leading 14-7 early in the second quarter right now.
Yeah. I played a little hunch on the under on that one, but it's not off to a great start. It was 50.5. I just didn't think UTEP would score. They've been fairly competitive this year. You know, they're not winning a whole lot of games, but, you know, if you look at their scores,
No,
they're not getting blown out.
terrible. No, they're not terrible. They're competitive.
Score,
Thing is, no, their offense is bad. And Kennesaw State are good. For the record, I think the game still goes over. It just moved to 66.5, the James Madison game. Now North Texas are moving the football. There's going to be points in this game. And like I said, 55.5 was a little light. I think it probably should have been like 61.5 or something like that. So, excuse me, North Texas, Texas State. They're sort of, Texas State. They're sort of catching up a little bit to it. 65.5. I get all these new schools confused, man. Cal Baptist and you know, Houston Cal. You know, I mean, there's so many.
Baptist,
Texas State, not North Texas.
Antonio.
Texas State, especially these games, Scott, the midweek games, right? Texas State, UTEP, Kennesaw State, Sam Houston State. It's kind of rare. It's like Sam Houston State are playing all the time. The Jacksonville State, Sam Houston State parlay. Like, normally it's these teams all the time. But, Texas State, they're moving the ball now.
I mean, you think about how many schools there are. And listen, Texas is big. I get that, right? But between North Texas, Texas State, Texas San Antonio, Houston, Texas A&M, Texas, UTEP, there's probably
you can dig down deep, too. Oh, yeah. I mean, you guys at TCU, SMU.
But you
SMU. Get, like I said, like Nebraska played Houston Baptist, and you got the other one, Texas A&M Commerce, not even the Aggies, you know what I mean? The Texas A&M Commerce team. Oh, I think we could look it up. I would say there's probably about 20 of them.
Yeah. I've been
in the state of Texas, 21?
Yeah. Legitimate, like, the Division I teams. Yeah, probably. Maybe not that many. Not Division I, but, 15?
Pretty close.
Yeah. Some of these, Lamar, another one. That's a Texas.
We'll have the answer on the other side.
Yeah, we'll count them up in the break. So, all right. In-game live game day continues here on the grid.
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the grid. We got George Kurtz coming up in about 10, 15 minutes or so. We'll talk some baseball, maybe a little NFL with him as well. But for the baseball, bottom of the fourth, so Ohtani settled down. He gave up the 2-run blast. Got another strikeout there in the top of the fourth inning. So his number was, I want to say 5.5 or 6.5. I know Bieber's was 4.5. He's got 4 already. 59 pitches through 4. That's not too bad. So he's on pace. He's going to, barring something crazy, probably get that number. And then Bieber's got 1 through 3. He's got 54 pitches. So we got 1 home run tonight. So our 2 home runs every game. We need at least 1 more home run tonight. Hopefully it's a LA Dodger. So as far as the numbers are concerned, basically pick them. Dodgers batting, so they lowered it just a tad. So it's -111. Over under is 8.5. So we'll see what it goes on.
Bieber's done a nice job. Bieber's done a nice
Yeah.
job containing the Dodgers lineup tonight. A couple of guys have hits. Freeman's got a single. Edmund got a hit. In fact, we gave you Edmund total bases over 0.5, so we cashed that already. Edmund gets the hit. But all things considered, they've got 3 hits on the night. Bieber doesn't have the strikeouts, unfortunately. Like you say, he doesn't have the strikeouts to back this up. But so he's got 1 strikeout only. I don't know if he's going to be able to get to 5. That's why I split it up. I did play the parlay, but I also played Ohtani strikeouts on his own with the concern knowing, listen, Ohtani, even though Ohtani's going to give up a home run or 2, he's still going to strike people out, right? I mean, in a regular season, he would strike out like 10 guys in 5 innings sometimes, right? So like in a regular season, he went 5. In the playoffs and his 2 starts, he's got exactly 6 innings, Ohtani, both times. So it seems like that's what they have. That's his number, right? To go 6 innings. His prop was 17.5 tonight. The expectation that he would go 6, and I think he will go 6 tonight. So, yeah, I think Ohtani will get there. I'm not so sure Bieber will, though.
Yeah. They saw, earlier today when I was looking at a game, they had Ohtani at 18.5, but the under was minus almost 2 to 1. The over was plus money, obviously, but they made it where it's unbettable. Listen, they're in a tough spot, so they kind of say they know it's
they scare people off
right
of it.
Yeah, 18. That's the number. What am I going to do?
They should give you alternate outs, but they don't. Like there's only that one bet. Like there should be options. Say, all right, you want to go 21 outs, like complete game. You want, you know what I mean? You want to go shorter and lay some juice and say, all right, I want to go 12.5 outs or 12 outs, but 11.5 outs, etc. But I'll lay 250 to do it and put it in a parlay or something, right? They don't give you the options, unfortunately, for it.
Yeah, they do with the strikeouts, but not with the outs. Maybe if it gets a little bit more popular, maybe they will.
Take it off the board too. Sometimes they screw around with the out ones a lot. The numbers change during the day. They kind of set it, and they'll get bet a lot, and they'll change it after. So that one, because there's been a few times in the playoffs where I've looked at it earlier in the day and I didn't bet it, and the number changed on me. And they moved it to that unbettable, like, dear God, they just made it 18.5 type thing, right? Like they're scaring you away from it. But this game is cruising along from a pace standpoint tonight. I mean, last night it was 6 hours and 39 minutes. We started at 8:11 Eastern time, 9:17 now. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning, so there is quite a brisk pace to this baseball game. Really not a lot has happened. Dodgers have 3 hits, and the Blue Jays hit a quick 2-run home run. There hasn't been a lot of drama, really.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. I mean, like I said, you have that craziness from last night. That's tough to carry over the next night. It really is. So, but there's a long ways to go. By the way, we cashed our we cashed a ton of tickets last night, including some we gave out at the beginning of the postseason. I gave it out the Dodgers leading 2-1 after 3, which hit last night. We gave out will one game go to extra innings? That hit last night as well. So I put so many bets in game, I end up forgetting about it. And then I look at my ledger and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I put that in. I forgot all about I bet something to go to extra innings. And it was like plus 115. Not a lot, but it's a winning bet. It's like, oh, okay. Forgot about that. So that was
We've had
nice.
We've had a couple of field goals here in the college football games. Texas State settles for a field goal. They don't get the touchdown. They now make it 21-10. So we're at 31 right now. The in-game total is 64.5. 21-10 for JMU. 5.5, 5:50 left in the first half. And James Madison with the football in their own 35. And UTEP actually lingering in this game, hanging around. They just kicked a field goal. They were down 14-7. They just made it 14-10 right now. They're getting 10.5, pretty much what it was at kickoff. Total now 52.5 in Kennesaw State and UTEP.
Yeah. The UTEP took about 6 minutes off the clock there for that field goal drive, too. It's down to 3 minutes. So my over-under, which I got at 50.5, it's 52.5, which isn't that bad. So, all right. How about a little getting any more goals in hockey? Florida scored 2-1. You want to take a flyer on the Panthers? Third period, 3.5 minutes left, though. Boy, Florida was going to lose again. My Bruins are in trouble, although they win. Blackhawks scored again. Wow.
Now up 2-0. And you know, it's crazy. So we talked about it when they were plus 115. The Blackhawks are now minus 425.
Wow.
But the Avalanche are up 2-0 on the Devils.
Yeah, I see that. That was fast. Boy, 2 goals in the first 5 minutes there. Now, over-under is 7.5. I think we're going to get some goals tonight in that one. If we got 2 already, New Jersey can score. They're not going to roll over. Plus 420. Or you take the Devils plus, I would take a flyer on the Devils plus 2.5 and plus 106. Whenever I
if you haven't gotten into the Devils already, you're getting 2.5.
Yeah. In plus odds. I don't like laying, but if you want to give me odds and some goals, I would take that, especially when I would have the lead right now, and I would with the 2.5 versus 2. So
I'll get into the Ranger game later. Big Ranger game tonight for JT Miller. JT Miller, of course, was a longtime Vancouver Canuck. He was the captain of the Vancouver Canucks. So JT Miller returns to Vancouver tonight, and there's no love lost between JT Miller, the Canucks.
No.
They had to trade him because of locker room drama with Elias Pettersson. So you basically had like a Swedish superstar and a brash American star. And Miller rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in the room. Some people liked him, not everybody, you know what I mean? But you see in New York even already. There's a short shelf life for guys like JT Miller. He's confrontational with the media. So as we've seen in New York already, kind of. But so yeah, big game for the Canucks and New York Rangers tonight. Big revenge spot for both.
Sixers tie up the Wizards. Final minute. How about that? In Game Live. Thank you.
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe. We got baseball, we got hockey, we got some NBA. The baseball start there, just to recap it. Top of the fifth inning, they go. 2-1 Toronto leading, -154. Now you get the Dodgers +118 since we got Toronto batting. All it takes is whoever's batting to go back and forth. Over-under is down to 7.5. NBA, nothing but points tonight. Same old, same old. Tonight, I'm going to go back and I'll double check and see what the numbers are. It shouldn't be too difficult to figure out how many overs there are versus unders. We're not on that torrid pace, but you're getting overs tonight. Washington, Philadelphia, they're tied at 126. Thought the Wizards had a bucket. They must have taken it away. So with 22 seconds left, that game has gone over. Knicks and Bucks, they had a monster second period. So we got 130 points. Over-under is 241.5. Right now, it was 229.5 to start the game, so that's on pace for an over. OKC and Sacramento, these scores are so ridiculous. They really, it's like a pinball machine, Gabe. 70-66. They're 4 minutes into, less than that. They're 3 minutes into the third quarter. It's 70-66. You got an over-under of 232, and then you got Miami and Charlotte 110. The over-under number they're giving you. Yeah,
like you said, considering they're only at 136 now, there's still 8:40 left in the third quarter. There's going to be a pace, you know what I mean? So it just dipped to 231.5. I don't think it's a bad bet. Over 231.5 in game in Sacramento and Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
another strikeout for Ohtani now.
Oof. All right, so he's got his total, right? Oh well, no, not yet. It's 5.
No, it's 6.5. So he's up to 5.
Yeah, 6.5. Okay. And Miami's leading Charlotte 110-93 after three quarters. Over under 253.5. Some of this stuff is just so goofy. It's just like the NBA has got more than just a gambling problem, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's unwatchable, some of this stuff sometimes. It's just like there's no defense being played. I mean, none whatsoever. So,
but there's a pattern to this every year in the NBA, right? They start off really, really strong. Fatigue kicks in. Basically, though, it's offense until the All-Star voting closes. There's almost like a unwritten rule amongst them that, okay, let's just all go off. We all want to be All-Stars. We're all trying to make money here, right? And then once the All-Star voting is closed and post-All-Star game, some players get mad they didn't make the All-Star game and they kind of slow it down and they're in a bad mood. And, it's sort of the league changes a little bit, right? But my bad for not just betting every NBA game to go over. And we'd be killing it so far. Because I haven't been. I really haven't been. I've been so focused on the baseball. I've been betting some overs and jumping in, but I haven't just been sort of, over. And we should be. I'll get you the number coming into tonight as far as the total is concerned. But, yeah, the odds makers. But, man, the totals are so high too, Scott, right? So
look, that's it. They scare you off. I mean, they're in the
236, 236 and a half, 238. You're like, damn, man, these are like high numbers. So coming into tonight, so 64% to the over, 34 and 19. That's pretty significant. 64.2% to the over. So if you bet every NBA over so far this year, you've won 64% of the time.
Wow, that's pretty good. What do you think the highest number we'll get this season?
As far as the total is concerned?
Yeah. You think we'll get a
points scored.
Opening. No, opening line. You think we'll get a 250?
No, I don't know about that. Maybe 248 type thing, 247 and a half or something. We'll see.
Charlotte or something goofy.
Yeah, we'll see how high they go. I mean, as far as the numbers, they keep on climbing right now. Like, who are the best? I want to see who the best over-under teams are in the NBA so far this year. So the Lakers 4-0 to the over. The Sixers, every game has gone over. Phoenix, every game has gone over. Charlotte, every game has gone over. Coming into tonight, Denver 3-0 to the over. Golden State 4-0 to the over. Is anybody an under team? Dallas 1-3 to the under. Dallas? San Antonio 1-3 to the under. Detroit 2-1, 2-1. But yeah, no blatant unders, man. Like, everybody in the league is basically, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 teams that aren't 2-2 or more as far as to the over. So 6 teams to the under.
Look at the lines tomorrow. We got 8 games tomorrow. 239.5, 232.5, 238.5, 231.5, 225.5. Orlando and Detroit. 231.5. It's just 224.5 is the lowest. Lakers in Minnesota. It's just, you say you want to bet over.
Consider I just said they're 4-0 to the over.
Yeah, it does, right?
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Fudge. I had 3 power play goals, but we didn't get a power play goal in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yes, we did. Yes, we did. My bad. I misread that. Bobby Brink scoring a power play, whoever the fudge that is for the Flyers. So my 70-1 shot, we're good with the Flyers. We're good with the Toronto-Calgary game. We're good with Vegas, and we're good with the Blue Jackets game. So 4 games are over. All 4 have power play goals. 70-1 shot. Let's talk little pucks, little baseball, obviously, as well with a good buddy, SportsGrid host, George Kurtz. You see it here all the time on the Grid. What's going on, George? How are you tonight, bud?
As you said here, enjoying the frenzy tonight along with Game 4 of the World Series. Curious, Game was just talking about during the break. I'm curious to see how both managers are going to play this as we get deeper into the game with who's available tonight as far as the bullpens are concerned.
Yeah. Who'd you have in the game tonight after that crazy one last night? 2-1 Toronto right now.
I think the Dodgers are going to win the series. I have the Dodgers to win tonight. Ohtani's the better pitcher here than Bieber. Unfortunately for my bet, Guerrero hit the 2-run homer there, so it is what it is. But I'm on the Dodgers.
Last night, George, Schneider overmanaged, and he started pinch running for everybody, right? Like, what are you going to pinch run for Barger for? Barger's a good runner, number one. Number two, like, he's on first base. There are a lot of weird, sort of unnecessary moves that Schneider made yesterday that weakened the lineup. Let's be real. By the time we got to the 15th inning and stuff, it was basically the Buffalo Bisons, right? If that, you know what I mean? It was the AAA team. Like, it's amazing that the Dodgers couldn't finish them, actually, but it is what it is. Yet, this game just sort of has this feel right now, guys, that extra innings could come into play here, right? I mean, let's just be real. This game is cruising along right now, and here's a shocking development. Andy Paz pops out again. Like, at some point, like, they're going to have to do something about this, but they don't want to give him up in center field, but he's just giving them nothing. So Ohtani comes up right now, but I think we're in for big drama, guys. Like, this game is moving very quickly, but I think there's a big dramatic ending still to come here.
Listen, if they want to go to extra innings again, I'm all for it. Let them go. Let them go play 13 fights. I got great drama. It was fun last night, right? Because it wasn't boring extra innings. I mean, there were players, people on base, there were runners on base. They just couldn't get the key hits there. It sort of reminded me of, the Detroit-Seattle game, right? A divisional round where runners were there, but no one could get the big hits. So it was not boring here. I am all for it. Listen, I don't know if I want to see it go 18 again. Maybe I'd like to get to bed before 4 o'clock. But it was, listen, last night happened to be one of the best World Series games in history. It was, like I said, it was entertaining. It was fun. It had everything you wanted. Good defensive plays, home runs here.
Plays at the plate, close plays at the bases.
All right, I agree with you about Schneider. It is the Barger one that most of us point out here. This guy's not a bad runner. Kirk, I get it. Yeah, Kirk's going to need a triple to score from second base. I understand that. But Barger's a good runner. What are you doing here? It sort of reminded me of the other playoff series where we saw managers taking out their starting pitchers at the 4 and the 3rd when they've given up 1 run. And they over panic a little bit because they want to make a move. It's almost like when referees we yell at them because they want to be part of the game. It's almost like these managers want to be part of the game. They want to make
they think they have to. They think they have to.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's the 9th inning, 8th inning. I got to look who's my fast guy, and who's this all right. And look, we brought it up. So Freddie Freeman, guys, has hit 2 walk-off home runs in the playoffs now. Like last year, now this year, both times against lefties because, we want to do the lefty-lefty thing. What's the point, Kurt? It's like the analytics. Like, all right, it's not working. Like, go with your better pitcher. This, that's just overthinking things again.
As a Yankee fan, I could have done without Freeman hitting the game-winning home run. All right, I don't need those flashbacks. All right,
that little extra. Of course, you were like, so what was your feeling when it was hit? You're like,
pain.
Oh God, again.
I mean, I was happy because I'm on the Dodgers. That's the only thing that bet made the Dodgers came through here, so I liked it. That was good. I'm like, really? It's Freeman again? I'm like, yeah. You think it's always going to be Ohtani and Betts and Muncy? Freeman's pretty good there. But it definitely brought back, the home run of Cortez, the home run at Yankee Stadium.
They just struck out. They just struck out Ohtani. Bieber strikes out Ohtani. It was borderline, but it was on the corner.
Yeah, for the second time. What'd you think of that strategy last night of walking him in all those extra inning at-bats?
Listen, if you've been watching Toronto all year, especially against the Yankees, that's what he did with the Judge. He wasn't going to let. Listen, Ohtani really beat him anyway, but he wasn't going to let Judge beat him for the most part here. And he would walk Judge with nobody on base, runner on first base. He's walked Judge with that and make it first and second. He was forcing someone else to beat them, so I have no problem with that.
Mookie.
Mookie wasn't.
Mookie
I know he's
pops
come through during the season, but
no, I'm saying
Mookie's
right
not
now.
getting the big hit right now. So I like what Schneider did there. I think he's following what he's done all season long. Don't let the best player in the game beat you. All right, and a guy who's beating your brains in during the game anyway. What do you have? 3 RBIs, 2 home runs last night, a couple of doubles here. Really stole a base. He just have to pop off of it. Yeah, let someone else beat me. I'm not letting the other player's best player beat me over and over again.
Another bad at-bat from Betts there. 1 pitch. He swung at the first pitch, and he popped out to center field. So we talk about him not getting good at-bats right now. Like, that's the classic definition of it. Like, 1 pitch, boom. Swung at it, popped out to the center field. That was that. 1 pitch. That was just like a quick-ass inning right there for Bieber and the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays are feeling it right now, man. We're going to the 6th.
Well, both teams need this. Both teams need these starters to go as many innings as they can here, right? I know it's only through half the game right now, but they both need these starters to pitch, get some outs before they go to that bullpen.
That called strike there was a ball in the first inning, ball 4. That's exactly the same exact pitch, right? This time it was a strike, and last time it was a ball. So, all right, so 2-1. You got the Blue Jays minus 164 over under 6.5. Did you play any props, or would you play any props right now?
I mean, I don't know if I'm playing props right now. I want to see when these guys get out of here. Now that you're asking me, though, I want to find out how many pitches are being thrown here. I do think they'll push these guys maybe a little longer than normal because of what happened last night. But I want to see when we get to the bullpens. I want to get to the bullpens. That's what I think we can have some fun here because neither bullpen's all that great. Other than maybe Sasaki. I know they pitched well last night. Don't know if they can do it again. Otani's at 76, so he can give you at least 2 more innings here. Bieber's at 75, same thing. So these guys are giving you what they want here. I'm on the over in this game as well, by the way. So I don't think I'm doubling down here. I think it is starting to look like an under situation here, that we're not going to get the run scored here because I think both these guys might go 7 innings, in which case your bullpen may not be as involved as it was last night. I'm also curious, by the way, Sasaki pitched an inning in 2/3 last night. And Roberts has pretty much let it be known that he doesn't really want to go back to him on back-to-back days anyway, especially after 5 outs last night. So Sasaki may not be the closer tonight either way.
Wow. He did say today it was all hands on deck.
Yeah, they're always going to say that. What are they going to say? Oh, no, he's going to say that automatically.
Who would they put in?
It is, though. I mean,
Sheehan?
that's called up for what it is.
Sheehan he pitched a bunch of innings last night, too. I don't think it'll be Sheehan. It probably should be Sheehan. But
Kershaw pitched one at bat last night, right? Kershaw's arm would be technically the freshest if this thing went on late type of deal. We're not there yet, but the game is cruising along right now into the 6th inning here already. Otani's gone 6 in both his playoff starts, but those were different situations. You know, coming off of last night, like you said, George, I would expect him 2 more innings, this inning and the 7th. And then I think in the 8th, they'll probably look another way. Because he's not a typical pitcher either, right? He's still playing for the rest of the series as well.
No, I agree with you. I think he's going, assuming he doesn't give up 4 runs here or something like that. He has normal innings here. He's going at least 7. And Robert, even if you want to protect him a little bit, you sort of have to push him here, right? Because of what happened last week. You're playing an extra game. You had 18 innings last night. That's an extra game. So yeah, you gotta be. It would
really help if they could tie the game. Instead of playing from behind.
I would love for this to go extra innings again. I like that kind of drama here. 18 innings last night, 13 innings tonight. We'll play 12 tomorrow. It'd be great. It'd be one of the best World Series ever if we got.
Let me see what the odds are for that right now, just for the people that are hoping for it. I threw it out there.
Yeah.
What do we? Let me see.
6-1, 7-1.
They have so many different plays here.
Usually
I gotta
go
keep
to
scrolling.
popular. Go to popular at the bottom. Extra innings. I got it.
Here we
5-1 for yes.
I got plus 400 and no minus 700.
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe chatting with our good buddy George Kurtz, Sports Grid host. You see it here all the time on the grid. So we'll put the baseball aside. Nothing changed there. How about a little puck set tonight, George? We had all 32 teams in action. How about that? They picked a grand day, game 4 of the World Series. Why not do something special? Don't do it on the off day of the World Series. Let's do it while the old World Series is in action. So a bunch of games already on the board, bunch of games already in, and then a few more that have yet to start. So what'd you do hockey tonight? I'll just throw it out there for you.
Why you do it on game? Whatever. I mean, their scheduling just sucks. It's just terrible here. And by the way, they should do this more often. Not so much have everybody play the same night. That's great. But why don't we stagger the games anyway? This because it's hockey. It's not baseball where everything's going to go on no matter what you do. Hockey's going to have everybody go to the same break at the same time. It gets annoying here at 7:45. There's no hockey for 15 minutes until the breaks come back. So I don't know why they don't do that anyway here. But yeah, it's a fun night tonight here. Some upsets so far. You mentioned the Panthers lost to the Ducks here. We're not getting high scoring games tonight. All right, other than a game or two so far. So if you had the Grand Salami, which I didn't have, you're probably going to have some issues tonight here. But yes, I do love the frenzy here, 60 games. Last game starts 11 o'clock Eastern tonight, so it'll be a late night.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to one of those games. How about the Rangers and Canucks, JT Miller game, going back to Vancouver? I thought they played last year, but I guess not.
Oh, they played last year. I just don't think it was when JT Miller after.
Right, that's what I meant. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a lot of JT
in Vancouver. They didn't play, so it's his first trip back to Vancouver.
Oh, that way I bet they played in New York. So I remember, hearing about it and all the hoopla and everything like that you get here in New York.
Yeah, it's his first trip back. Yeah, it's his first game back in Vancouver.
Okay.
Quinn Hughes is not playing, George, in this game tonight. Just for the record, Quinn Hughes is out for the Vancouver Canucks.
That is a monster loss. I hadn't bet this game one way or the other.
He's been out for the last 3 games, though, right? So they played well against the Canadians and lost 4-3, and then without Quinn Hughes, then they beat the Oilers the other day. But for whatever reason, the Canucks kind of beat the Oilers like a lot. It's kind of a weird matchup for them for whatever reason. But, yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. The Canucks are without Quinn Hughes, but they have been without him for basically the last 3-4 games.
Yeah, I'm not betting. I still can't bet on the Rangers, right? They got all sorts of problems. You saw it right today. It's Shesterkin. He's not happy with his play. I don't think it's truly his fault, but he's not happy with how he's playing here. They can't score goals here. It's been a little tough sledding for the Rangers here. This just means I'm not going to bet on Vancouver, which I originally was thinking about taking it here. So I'll leave this game alone here. Like I said, beating the Oilers are struggling themselves, right? And I bet against them tonight. I'm going to follow that line there. The Oilers aren't playing well. I'll just bet against them here, but I won't touch this Vancouver Rangers game. I am curious about JT Miller. He has been, and when I say mouthing off, not in a bad way, but sort of like, why are we coming out flat? How do we come out flat? He's sort of questioning his teammates' desire, I guess, to win, to play here.
He rubs people
Rangers,
the wrong way,
captain.
George.
They need the captain, which I was surprised about. I know he's been there before, but I was surprised that they named him captain.
For the record, so what's his number to score? He's plus 210 to score. And this is like some, inside baseball stuff, but one of the main reasons they traded him, he really didn't get along with Elias Pettersson, right? So Pettersson is also plus 210 to score. So if there's anybody that wants to score tonight, it's Pettersson. Trust me. The fans are on Pettersson's ass all the time here because he makes $11 million a year. He's played well, actually, the last week. The last couple of games, he's played really well. So, this is a big game for Pettersson. It's a big game for Miller. It's a big game for everybody tonight involved with these organizations. Plus, the Canucks are 5-5. So they're 500. They're literally 5-5 on the season. So they're trying to get some sort of traction.
I'm going to have a little fun. I'm going to bet both of them to score. I just need one to cash in here.
Yeah. I figure one of them will. But they both want to. And also, their teammates are both going to be feeding them, too. Their teammates are going to want them to score.
My thing is, I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. This smells like a 3-1, 3-2 game here. So I don't think we're going to get 7-8 goals in this game. I think both goaltenders, Demko and Shesterkin, will play well. So I think we'll get a lower scoring game in this contest.
Freddie Freeman.
Over. I will tell you.
Not a home run.
Freddie Freeman's up.
Not a home run, but he leads off the inning. He line drived at the first base. Guerrero was a hard play for Guerrero. Guerrero did a good job sort of batting it down. And Will Smith smokes one into center field on the first pitch, but it's caught. It was it looked like it might drop. It was a nice catch by Varsho there. So we got one out. Teoscar Hernandez coming up, and this is the end of the line for Bieber. They're taking him out, guys.
Ooh.
Wow. He
Dangerous.
just went over his number. 50. He got the one out, so he went 16 outs. His number was 15 and a half. I thought I was going to cruise to that. The way he was pitching, I figured he was good for the sixth inning.
Well, look, wait. Sorry. They haven't taken him out yet. Jean, when the manager comes out. Yeah, now they're talking to him. So,
okay.
No,
you can't.
They're leaving him in
out here. You can't have the ball go 11 outs. Not at 80 pitches. He's got. I understand Freeman smoked the ball. Will Smith smoked the ball, so they're a little worried about that. But he's got to go. Man, you'd really like him to get through the seventh inning, but he's got to get through this inning, or else I think I would double down on the Dodgers.
Yeah,
Teoscar Hernandez now.
If he gets another base hit, then that's it.
This is some early drama here. I know it's the sixth, guys, but you know what I mean? It's a 2-1 game. After this, the Dodgers only have 3 more cracks at this. It's getting late early, as Yogi Berra once famously said. This is a big at-bat, a big sequence here. Oh,
this is where manager matters.
Teoscar lines the first pitch to center field. They're hitting him, like you just said, George. Freeman smoked it to first base. Will Smith smoked it to center field. Teoscar just smoked it like line drive to center field, one hopper. So we got first and second with one out now.
It's Muncy up, right?
Muncy batting.
Yeah. And now Schneider's not coming out for a walk. Schneider's pulling him.
Yeah.
81 pitches. That's
wow. We got that by a half an out. A half a stinking out. How about that? All right, real quickly, Montreal, Seattle. Basically pick them.
Over in Montreal. I got the over in Montreal. I love the Canadian skill, speed, fast. I like the way they're playing here. I think they'll win in Seattle tonight.
All right. LA, San Jose, since we zipped through that one real quickly.
San Jose's an over every game. They always score. San Jose can score. They can't stop anybody. It's another over. If you want to take the Kings, you got to find probably a parlay partner. But yeah, do the over there as well.
George, Nick Suzuki, Montreal Canadiens, George, has had points in 9 straight games.
Very young team outside of Durant. They're going to be an impossible out in a 7-game series, and I'm predicting it right now. If the seeding lines up, you are getting the Thunder and the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. There's not another team in the West that's going to be as good as the Rockets are when we get to playoff time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I don't want people to stop discounting how good of a coach Rick Carlisle is. And I think they're going to find a way to get it done. I think they're going to be better than people think. And I also think if that's the case, then I'm fading someone in that division. You know who I'm fading, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now cut 2 players this year so that they can bring back both Antetokounmpo to play with Giannis.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
People who filed it are actually representatives of Chicago, so they're from the city. They're kind of saying, this is really going to cripple the industry if we do this even more. I think it's really important when we talk about this stuff because so many places want to keep taxing sports betting more and more and more, which is well within their right. But there gets to a point where the bubble bursts and sports books either don't want to do business or they change the way they do it by passing it down to the customer.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, All Team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live game day here on the grid. Again, thanks to George Kurtz for joining us, as he does from time to time. So, I got some NBA games finishing up. We got the one game starting in about an hour or so, Clippers-Warriors. We got some late hockey. So, Gabe, what are some of your late-night plays for us?
I'm going to go with the LA Clippers tonight. The Warriors going back-to-back. They lost their last back-to-back game that they played against Portland, albeit that was on the road. This is at home. But the Clippers were bad in the first game. For the record, Muncy popped out, so we got 2 out right now. Tommy Edman is now up. The Dodgers keep swinging at the first pitch all the time. Like, Muncy swung at the first pitch and popped out, but it wasn't deep enough. They only have runners on first and second, too. Dodgers only scored on a sacrifice fly tonight so far. So Edman up right now. But, yeah, give me the Clippers on the money line. It could be a close one, but I'll go Clippers money line, minus 130. Give me the Montreal Canadiens to close up this long road trip that they've been on the West Coast. Canadiens minus 125 against the Seattle Kraken. Nick Suzuki has been red hot for the Montreal Canadiens. Got a point in pretty much every game. Was it like 9 straight games now for Nick Suzuki, in which he's got a point, longest streak in the National Hockey League. So, yeah, and Fluharty strikes him out, so the Jays get out of it. We're going to the top of the 7th inning. So give me Suzuki to get an assist, because to get his points prop is over 1.5. So let's go him to get an assist at minus 140. And give me the Vancouver Canucks tonight in a game that matters to them, man. It's a lot of weird motions between the Canucks and JT Miller and the city of Vancouver playing tonight. Rangers aren't playing great hockey. Give me the Vancouver Canucks. They're plus 100 right now. Quinn Hughes is out, but Hughes has been out for the last 3 games. So the Canucks are who they are. Give me the Canucks to beat the Rangers.
I do like the over in the Warriors Clippers. Anytime I can get 224.5. Listen, I'm going to take that. I don't care who's playing. So if I get burned out, I know the Clippers can end up being one of the rare under teams in the NBA. But that's you could sneeze and get 225 points. So I like that one as well. NHL with the games that have yet to begin. I'm betting against the Rangers. They stink. If you can lose to San Jose, then you can find a way to lose to at Vancouver. So give me the Canucks. I like the home dogs. You want to give me Vancouver plus odds, even matchup? You can make a case they're better than the Rangers. I'll take them. And you want to give me plus 105 against, obviously a pretty good Montreal Canadian team. But Seattle's pretty good. They're undefeated at home, 3-0. So give me them plus 105 as well. And then you got to bet against the Sharks, or you just make the case that you just want to bet against or on them every single game, and just play it out and hope that somewhere along the line they win a few games. But I'm not going to do that. I'll take the Kings to win in regulation. You get it down to like minus 130 or so. They're minus 210 favorites, so you do save yourself some money. I saved for myself some money with Florida. I played the Panthers tonight to win in regulation. They lost outright. So every once in a while, even though you don't win, you actually save yourself money if you want to go that route. And then double down on the Dodgers if you think they're going to win. Plus 144, you got 3 at-bats left. They don't score the bottom of the 6th. Top of the 7th, they go. 5.5 is the total now.
Dodgers bats have been swinging at the first pitch way too much. They're really impatient tonight. I don't know if it's fatigue from last night carrying over or not, but their lack of patience at the plate has been a problem for them. And now they put themselves kind of in a position where it's going to have to be a home run now. So they have 9 outs. Can somebody smoke a home run? And can they keep the Jays only up by 1? And then we're going to end up in extra innings, kind of like I thought we would. We should know, too, with the hockey game, I don't think JT Miller is going to score, personally. But I think Pedersen is a good bet at plus 210 to score. And I think Brock Besser is a stud. Besser was actually buddies with JT Miller as well. So he's getting, everyone's fired up for this. Like I said, it's, whether you like him, you didn't like him, it's one of those sort of energy games tonight. Pedersen has a reason to score, and Besser Besser just seems to score a lot. So you're getting them both at like plus 200, plus 210. I like them both to score.
They're not fighters, but boy, if there was ever a bet you could make it for people to fight, or at least get a minor anyway, that might be the best play to go. But you're probably not going to get that. And you can bet the extra innings at 5-1 on FanDuel. Gabe has it at 4-1 on his site, and FanDuel's offering it 5-1 if you think you're going to get one more run, out of the Dodgers and go extra innings.
I think it's coming.
The craziest thing. Yeah. It's really playing out, like I said at the beginning of the show. The opening pickoff, I thought it was going to be a low-scoring game. So did you. I took Toronto plus the 1.5 runs. We got the over with the Bieber. Looks like we're going to get the over with the Knicks and Bucks. And then cross your fingers with Winnipeg and Minnesota. Gabe, hey, man, enjoy the game. You're going to be at Game 6. We'll be looking for you in the stands for sure tomorrow night. Enjoy it. Have a good time.
Blue Jays double right now. Oh, boy.
Yeah.